Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
A Democratic pastor and wannabe elected official Will Boyd announced his candidacy for Alabama governor. Is that what he's running for this time? Okay, congratulations to Will Boyd. He'll probably win the nomination and then get absolutely curb stomped by Tommy Tuberville. But he has announced that. I thought he announced it a long time ago. Didn't I already harass this guy? I think I already harassed this guy over this. Anyway, and now he's back with yet another official announcement. Maybe all of it's blurring together because he had said that he was going to run for Congress and 2016, he got destroyed. Ran for lieutenant governor in 2018 and got destroyed. Ran for United States Senate in 2022 and got destroyed. There's a trend here, but I'm not very smart. I don't know if I can put this stuff together and notice the trend, but I'll try. I'll try to figure it out.
Number 6.
The Justice Department's Operation Grayskull, launched in 2020, led to the dismantling of 4 dark web child abuse websites with over 1,200 members, 120,000 members, and millions of files. Now, this resulted in the conviction of at least 18 individuals across the United States for these vile acts. It all started in Madison, Alabama. Do you guys know that? William Spearman was convicted for operating and using these sites to share unlawful sexually exploitive images of children. But it is good that they have shut down these dark web child abuse sites that had all these members and millions of files. It is good to see all of this going down. It is good to see people getting arrested and punished for this. It's good to see them being super aggressive about this and taking these people down. Great.
Number 5.
We always say there's not enough fighting in politics and back and forth and shenanigans. Luckily, we're going to get some this year. Texas Republicans have a plan for aggressive redistricting. And that's right. They have an aggressive redistricting plan to gain House seats and protect their majority in the House. Democrats say, well, we'll do the same thing in California. They have countermeasures, but they have some laws out there that are going to make that hard to do, redistricting solely for politics, etc. But the New York Times notes something that I think is pretty interesting. It's supposed to be a poor-mouthing, but just listen to what they say. They lay out the idea that Democrats don't have a lot of tools to counter GOP redistricting. Wow, sounds scary. Why is that? Oh, because they've already gerrymandered heavily in their state, so they not really much more they can do. So remember that when they tell you the Republicans are stealing seats.
Number 4.
There have been federal funding issues on issues of research and education that have affected the state of Alabama when it comes to Doge and things of that nature. Well, it appears some of those are being resolved. The Department of Education has unfrozen $68 million for Alabama schools that was withheld while the Trump administration reviewed the funds. It had already been put forward by Congress and allocated in that way. It is now out and being released to the schools. English as a second language stuff is a big one. After school care, things like that have been funded by the federal government, and they released that $68 million there. Other issues, including research funds, University of Alabama, Birmingham, that's a big one. Katie Britt and 13 of her colleagues are calling on the White House to release those funds as well. Those have already been allocated, so they want those funds released. We'll follow that and see where it goes.
Number 3.
Guys, Alabama liberals have too much money. These activists have too much money. I don't know what's going on here and why they're doing these things. They might want to focus on winning some, state house and state senate seats. That might be something they should be interested in. Instead, they're doing things like erecting a billboard with Jeffrey Epstein on it on the Red Mountain Expressway in Birmingham. And I lived in Birmingham, and I have no idea where that is. Just throw that out there. It must be a very, very busy, heavily trafficked road. Emily's saying, yes, it is. I'm like, okay, I'm just telling you, I lived there. I don't know where that was. I'm sorry. But they put a billboard out there. It has Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump on it, and it says, what's the secret? What's the secret? Look, I'm sure this is going to sway people. I already started thinking Donald Trump's a child molester just reading the story, but we'll see where all of that goes. Their other gray billboards include saying he grabbed them by the diploma. So, again, they just have too much money. Let's just be honest about it. They need to figure out how to take this money away from them. They've got too much.
Number 2.
After the Department of Justice sent Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell, she obtained limited immunity for more information about Jeffrey Epstein's issues and allies. Of course, this upset the media for some reason. It has upset the media. They're like, hey, well, why are you giving her immunity? You just said you wanted more information. She's already in jail for the rest of her life. What are you going to do? If you want her to give you more information, then you have to give her something as well. What are you talking about? I can't believe you're dealing with this section. It's like, that's what you said you wanted, and now you're saying you want less. Just make sure I understand this, my friends in the media. You guys want less information now. Okay. Well, U.S. Representative Dale Strong has said we need more information. He said we need to release more information about Epstein, but the media, well, they want to use this issue to distract people from stuff going on. They also don't want more information. Okay.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
President Donald Trump made the European Union bend the knee. Yes, they bent the knee. It's like 1776 all over again. They bent the knee. European Commission President Ursula Gertrude von der Leyen, from like Belgium or something, or some country that I'm not even sure even exists. I think it's a country in Frozen. I think they got that wrong. Anyway, this person whose name you've never heard before, and Donald Trump agreed to a deal. Isn't it interesting? Like, they all know Donald Trump over there. We're all like, who's your president? What's going on? Is Macron a thing? That guy, right? Anyway, they agreed to a deal that includes billions in EU investments in U.S. energy, hundreds of billions, let's put it that way, and defense purchases. There's that happening. We also have 15% tariffs on EU goods remain. That includes cars, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors. Steel and aluminum tariffs stay at 50% for now, but could come down. This averts a trade war and stabilizes transatlantic relations. But France has the SADs over it. I don't know if you guys have seen this. The French prime minister said, baguette, croissant, not good, no. Something like that. I don't know what he actually said, but he does have the SADs over it. So it is something you can make fun of the French. Just keep that in mind. That's one ethnic national group that you can mock. So feel free to utilize that a lot today because you're allowed to do so. Other groups, not so much. Okay, just the French, they're okay. Because what are they going to do? Hey, we're mad about this. Oh, yeah. And then they back down immediately. That's basically how it works. That's what they do. So a deal has been cut with the EU. Germany, very excited about this. The EU, other members like France, maybe not so much. But history tells us that if the Germans want something, the French will probably just go along eventually. They'll come around through hook or crook. They'll get there. They'll get there. If not, they have ways of making them come around. So we'll just see how that goes. But the simple fact is, big deal made, good deal made, and the markets are reacting positively to this. Remember all that talk about how the markets were going to collapse over this? Remember that? Like the tariffs were going to end the world? Well, it didn't happen. It looks like, once again, our biggest trading partner, there's a framework for a deal. China, there's a framework for a deal. If I were a Democrat, here would be my criticism of this. These are only frameworks for deals. We got to actually get these deals on paper. But they're not smart enough to do that because they're screaming too much about things like Jeffrey Epstein. But good luck. Good luck, folks. Let's take a quick time out. We'll come back with more of this. You can join us. You can ask your questions. You can get those in right here on the scoutpestcontrol.com WVNN Hot Take text line. Get your questions in for 10 with him. We got Jay Town coming up here a little bit later in the program, and Chris Elliott joining us as well, state senator, later as well. Yaffe will be with us too. Stay tuned.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.